Dear League of Legends. Where did it all go wrong? I feel like it was just yesterday I was so excited to try the new champ. My friend said she could literally pick up minions and throw them at people. The content for your game was at its prime. Everything was well edited. There were creative tools in your game to get cool angles and make better higher effort videos. And the topics of these videos weren't about some bullshit climb or Smurf session part 69. They all boiled down to, hey, I did something stupid in the game and look how much fun I had doing it. I was spoiled as a viewer and I didn't even know it. I personally played Draven but as a mid laner and no one ever said jack shit to me about it because everyone else was doing equally as stupid things where the goal for everyone was simple. To have a good time. But now is different. We are all more desensitized than Riley Reid's vagina when it comes to playing and watching others play your game. Content is either some new fucky flavor of an unranked to diamond climb featuring my unedited full gameplay farm simulators, or it's a race to put out the first video on something new in your game to grab those views, regardless of if it was good content or not. Kids are paying the price of a damn Xbox for 2 hours with coaches to help them increase a number that literally no one gives a shit about, while others are attracted to the schoolgirl drama that these coaches are creating with each other. Everything has turned so negative, with my own videos being just as much to blame, as that's what people are clicking to watch, and I actually think it's not Riot's fault, it's ours. And I know you are gonna say, but Riot's dev team has the balancing skills of a drunk one-legged flamingo with severe vertigo on a rocking sailboat, or I can't even make it through Champ Select in 2023 without me and my family being told to drink bleach and help tie up each other's nooses. And while I can't debunk every argument against the game, I can try to change it. Back in the day, a perfect game for a video would look different than one today. It would be something like a blind unranked normal game where you lock in blitzcrank and grab smite because you have bad intentions for what's about to go down. You run just about everywhere on the map except for your own lane, trying to find little opportunities to make a funny play until you are literally 4 levels behind everyone else. Some people want to give up and others want to AFK because a win is looking bleak, but you convince them the game can still be fun. It goes back and forth for over 40 minutes, inhibitors down on both sides, until after 100 kills and a game you'll actually remember playing next week comes to an end. But that would never work anymore. Which is why I did it, because the perfect game is every game, and the ability to have fun in this piss pit of a game does indeed still exist. Think of it this way. 10 years ago the perfect meal for you might have been McDonald's. It was cheap, tasted good, and didn't give you massive diarrhea. But now your metabolism is trolling you. Inflation makes the dollar menu a flat-out liar, and I can't explain what the Grimace Shake is doing to people. But there's still a perfect meal for you, and that's from HelloFresh. Check out this footage of me and my waifu chefing up the latest recipe from the old fresh that says hello. Just listen to my riz in the kitchen. All this goodness comes in one of the many boxes that HelloFresh sends when you sign up for a plan. It's way cheaper than groceries or takeout, and it's easy as hell to start. You just select what kind of foods you like to eat, how much you mukbang weekly, and voila! Food from over 40 recipes and 100 customized items gets sent to your door ready to be chefed and eaten within minutes. It's also environmentally friendly, making way less waste than pretty much any other way you can think of that ends with you putting food in your mouth. Anyways, use my link or go to hellofresh.com and use code POGRAVJUL50 for 50% off plus free shipping. Once you click, my description will live update to count up the purchases. So try the perfect diet plan today, and let's get back to the perfect league game. Alright, so my perfect game starts out more ass backward than a guy straddling a toilet to take a shit, because first you have a support who decided to not go bot, and then you had 2 champs that were so out of place mid it's like walking into a church and seeing a dildo and a picture of Hitler on the altar. But I assure you that the dildo wasn't expecting this handshake, so I assist the clown in making him frown, and then I do my rounds of checking if red buff was hanging out where he was assigned to be. Turns out he was, because their team's Harambe was on the other side of the Rift Equator telling Gerard Butler that the plot of 300 was stupid. So I'm all like, whoa, put some goddamn respect on the Leonidas lore, you little shit stain. And I have to say, my Shaco was really loving these sloppy seconds I was giving him. Then you might say, Rav, you're a support, you should go bot. But I'm all like, this is 2023, piss off, don't tell me what I am. Maybe I'm a roly golem that just wants to launch surprise grope grabs onto unsuspecting JC Penny pushers and watch them die under their tower. But at this point I'm having an early Rift crisis, thinking damn, there are literal toxin rabbits who are already level 4 and I'm still looking like I'm fresh out the fucking fountain. I need to get my shit together, so I had to swallow my pride and abuse a harmless crab. Only for my dumbass to realize there's dogshit XP tied to killing these now.
Bruh.
So I call in backup. I know the glad is sad from some chimp ripping his face off earlier, and if I'm being honest, there's not a breathing thing on this rift I can kill by myself, so I have him do some of the heavy lifting and then I use my smite to spawn some question marks on the ground. But I'm a team player, you get one I get one type of bullshit, because all I really needed was level 2, because if I walked into a pile of level 3s as a 1 they would have just laughed me out of the room, but I had to make a good name for myself, you know, step out, take a few deep breaths, head held high, and give this fuck the firmest handshake he's ever seen before murdering him in cold blood and rolling away. But here's the thing to all you aspiring entrepreneurs: if you want to go against the grain and do shit like roam around the map as an underleveled blitzcrank while wearing a fucking Buzz Lightyear costume, you need to know that your first impression might have literally knocked them dead, but you need to be firm about following up right after to show them that you may be a small fish compared to them. Specifically 4 levels smaller, but you are gonna make your mark on this world. That said, with these cutting-edge finance guru YouTuber tactics you'll get so successful so fast. I need you to remember your roots, which is a bot lane support, and you should visit home sometimes to do things like stand in front of a bush and do nothing of use but act as a bouncer to any little shitters thinking they can just walk away from the double homicide that your teammates have so graciously planned for them. Okay, I have a riddle for all of you out there. A real jungler and a support identifying as one walk into a dragon pit. One is level 5 and the other is borderline trolling. Who wins the smite war? If you guess neither, because a fucking ape pops out of the blue and steals it from both of them, and then they run away in shame while one of them dies and the other does nothing to help prevent his failure friend from being killed right in front of him, then you are correct, great job. But while me and Pantheon were both in base googling if we will ever be able to find gainful employment with that whole dragon situation on our permanent record, the rest of the butt buddies were getting A-rammed and anal down mid, but I couldn't help but to notice that one particular ape was left looking like a goddamn snack. So I decided to be a bit of Curious George myself. That's racist because he's a monkey. Someone please cancel me as I venture through the candy cane forest into the laser pointing statues, all so that I could nab myself a fat KO. This of course attracted the attention of Jiao Sin, but let me tell you ladies, I am not in the business of overextending for a kill deep in the enemy jungle when it does nothing for me as a movement speed building support to just get caught and die as a result, so I make like a fart wearing a toupee and blow this shithole with style. At this point I'm thinking I'm doing the thang, but I need some XP. My calling in life is to roll my arcane crane game looking ass straight into a gang and take what's rightfully mine. Oh, and then I go back to being useless. You see, I convinced the actual jungler who can't win a smite war if it was against a drunk scuttle crab, and that we just need to practice on the enemy red buff a bit, but that furry pole dancer arrives and I'm not trying to be sold for parts, so I head out to the pissy plant, wait for him to make eye contact in his dying breaths, and then slap that shitter to safety. This may or may not have given them full reign to use our bot lane as a bowling alley and a large diabetic crab as the ball, which may or may not be entirely my fault at this point. But I wasn't gonna let that stop me from rolling down mid, slapping a statue like it called me daddy, and grabbing any gothic ballerina who judged me for doing so as we got the tower and the pissy prissy bitch right after. Then me and Obama's wife are like two unattended toddlers with permanent markers in front of a white wall, aka up to no good, and as a robot myself I have a thing for mechanical chicks in tutus, so when I know the zombie hands will have her rooted I make my move, but I can't bring myself to knock her up because I can't afford child support payments, but it all ends up working out in the end. At this point I can't really comment on what I was doing, but I do know that Chuckles the Clown was being one annoying ass shitbag mid playing all sorts of mini games, so I figured I would come and give these people something else to talk about with the loudest static queef to date before failing miserably to dislocate my arm in a way that brings any more kills to the boys. We continue putting our own lives at stake for what silver players know to be the biggest war in their lifetimes. The battle of enemy red buff, as the waves of battle come and go until one Pink Floyd ratchet ass robot comes in thinking I'm not gonna yank her like my name's Garrett and she's a snake in the Everglades. Then I can advance the position of the Blitzcrank battalion in the bushes, where I patiently wait until it's literally too late for that panda giving a bamboo stick a blowjob, but in his dying honor I can knock up the spear shitter and politely request he not leave my presence until he's dead as shit. And then full disclosure, the plan was to go full blown Cincinnati Zoo on this ape, but when I saw White MC Hammer trying to join the party I was out like bad gas after a double queso bowl at Chipotle. But here's the thing, many people think I'm just a one-dimensional battle bot with a dislocating hand and that's all I'm good for, but I am also packed with the keen enemy sensing radar of a goddamn cougar in heat, so I tell the boys they better meet me up here because I know there will be a grown man with a Godzilla-sized fork in here. I distract him a bit until backup arrives and then I just roll around back and forth thinking about how goddamn big-brained I am. This gives me the confidence to chase all my other murder-based dreams, starting with the arcane character. But I wasn't gonna let the pint-sized panda die again, so I knock him up and then let someone else do all the work. Side note, we still weren't using either smite on our team, but at least we were getting the drakes now. Operation Sit Behind Walls and Introduce Arcane Characters to Your Chickens is now in full swing, which does force the man's flash, but I didn't open the shop filter by movement speed and just start buying random items to just not be able to chase his ass down and sock him bop his ass back to base. But here's the thing, they don't call me Blitzcrank the Bloodhound for nothing. I'm able to track down any Tom, Dick or Sin Jiao who thinks they are safe backing one shot in a... So at this point I'm thinking there may be a few people out there who are fuming about me doing these trend-setting dangerous strats in a blind normal, to which I ask you, would you rather have this Oriana as your support instead? Muaha, dead bitch. But a support's duty is listed as peeling for and protecting their AD carry, and as you can see in the exhibit entitled, Monkey Man Gets Sucker Punched and Fucked, I think we can all agree I was performing my duties per their requirements. Which, if I may add, is definitely more than their team can say about their monotonous muppet of a support.
Okay, go. Get the albino, get the albino. Fuck it, let's just settle for the depressed Barbie. Okay, you're on your own, son.
At this point I was worried that our team's Spitball Rabbit was out for the count, sitting in base AFKing, but a little pep talk and he was back and ready to spit all over their team's designated right clicker as I was taking up the responsibilities of not saving him but rather running around like a robot with his head cut off until backup arrives so I could pull the ape back to the action and watch him die. This opens us up to play the game where we all try and slay the giant wailing Barney Dick in river, but the issue with this plan is that Senna is an ADC and ADCs do ADC things, which means it's just the two shitters with the smites left, but I'm distracted by the fact that this lazy-eyed factory defective American Girl doll is definitely checking out my ass from behind the wall, so I invite her to the party hoping to get lucky and let's just say she got fucked. Not by me, which I guess makes me a cuck.
As soon as I saw like 3 pumps in, I just got up and walked out.
Anyways, the next battle for the enemy red buff is already starting to take place and I'm coming in like one coked up vending machine who has the accuracy of a burnt waffle but a little Tesla queef to get the bitch low, and I'm all in. Turns out building all movement speed makes you quite beefy as Blitzcrank, so I use this newfound tankiness to watch my jungler take on 3 people at once while I roll back and forth like I've gotta take the piss of a lifetime until that situation resolves itself and I can reunite with the ladies to brainstorm how we're gonna kill another monkey without PETA coming for our asses. Then I'm thinking I will show them what a team player looks like. On second thought, fuck that. But it doesn't matter because my ADC hasn't faced a shred of danger since she escaped from Thresh's little Epstein Island lantern, and it's because I'm finding every threat known to man, pulling them and making them jump and then static shitting on their dead corpse. And then when Frankie Big Fork starts looking at her again, I make sure that we keep his ass seat belted to the fucking ground while she uses her sperm tethering pulse rifle to shut him down. At this point we are a bond, one team together, slaying any shitter in our way as we overcome the odds on being weighed down because of my stupid as all shit game plan. But it just goes to show that you can still make any game fun in League of Legends as long as you go into it with the goal of having a good time, and nothing else. Subscribe because we are bringing fun and good times back to the Rift in this igloo. Rav out.